with Mooney now in my lap. Nope. There she goes. All right, well, there he is. There's Moon. All right, let's get it started. So, we're back. This time we are going to be looking at top path macro, which, full disclaimer, I don't play top path a lot. In my very limited competitive experience, I played in UCS twice. Once 2 years ago, where I played jungle, and once last year, where I played top path Leafeon. But the top path role is traditionally taken up by an all-rounder that needs to stack. So that's what I'm going to demonstrate in this video. And those who know me know that I am notoriously an all-rounder hater, but I do have a few that I quite enjoy and I'm trying to get better at. But I do understand enough of how the top path is supposed to work with also being a caster. So maybe my gameplay is not the best because I'm not as familiar with some of these all-rounders and I don't play them a ton, but you just have to believe everything I say because I said it. In this video, we're going to be looking at a Serena game that I played, and this character, it took me a long time to actually want to play it, but this character is actually so much fun. All right, here we go. So I'm going to look at this with the audio of the video on mute just because it tends to get a little bit loud with the sound effects, but so far, I'm heading up into this top path with an EXP share Blissey. That is absolutely fantastic. That's kind of exactly what we'd want to have. I pop my full heal right here to make sure I get a stack in. And part of this top path stacking approach to the lane is often heading right to the opposite side to look for those stacks. Because the sooner you are able to get those stacks, the better you can scale into the late game. So sometimes what ends up happening is you trade a KO for a couple of stacks. In this case, I'm running Razor Claw double stacking. So it's extra important that I get those stacks in early because 2 of my items are dependent on stacking. You'll notice that right now, I am just dealing with Alolan Ninetales, who I am seeing that the Curse Incense is procced on me, so I am going to be aware for the rest of the match that they have a Curse Incense item equipped. So keeping that in mind, my healing is not going to be as strong, but at this point in the match, I am looking for stacks. I can see that the Mamoswine has went to the opposite side, and my Blissey is dealing with them, so at least I know that it's just the Alolan Ninetales that I have to work around. I know that I have used my full heal, so the best thing I can hope to do is grab a secure here and evolve. Luckily, I am able to, and even if I go down here, getting this stack is good enough. So I'm going to try to run. I'm going to, by a miracle, get far enough, but still, I end up going down there. That is not that big of a deal, because I was able to grab 2 stacks, take away some of their farm, but the problem there is, of course, that I give Alolan Ninetales their evolution, but my Blissey is evolved, my Zeraora has ganked me, and I'm level 4 with 2 stacks. So, all in all, not too bad. A lot of times with the top path Pokemon, you expect to go down a couple times early to get a couple stacks, just trading that KO, and being able to scale better into the late game is seen as more valuable. So, the 850s, Zeraora has left our lane, so unfortunately, they left, but I am able to get a lot of those secures. But again, this is, you know, a little bit dangerous, because of Mean Look and stuns from Alolan Ninetales, and they had this weird rotation thing going on, so, you know, I think I said that Umbreon, was Mamoswine earlier. It's Umbreon, but they have a lot of CC nonetheless. And, you know, now at this point, if I look for my level 6, that's my next break point, so if I can hit that, that's absolutely huge. And notice, you know, this could be considered micro, could be considered macro, but, you know, when I'm dealing with a character with a lot of CC, which I don't have any CC at this time, I'm playing around the tall grass very heavily. And I do this with any kind of character, but especially with playing against characters that have a lot of CC, you want them to have trouble targeting you with those skill shot CC moves. So you'll notice that a little bit earlier, the Umbreon clicked Mean Look looking for me, but I avoided it using the tall grass, and Blissey ended up getting trapped in the Mean Look. That's exactly what you want. The Blissey should be kind of taking those hits for me to the best of their ability, but I'm able to kind of maneuver around some of these stuns, and my thought is still, I want stacks, but at this point, getting my level breakpoints to maintain the same levels or better as the lane that I'm up against is the best thing that I can do. So since I'm now, we saw it a second ago, this is level 5, and we saw that Alola Ninetales also level 5. Blissey is level 5, close to level 6, and I'm level 6. So we are actually winning this lane right now in terms of levels. And if at this point, since I'm ahead, if I'm going in to look for stacks now that we're starting to get into the later part of the laning phase, that could be dangerous. So now I can just kind of, I have my 2 stacks. I can hope for openings that don't lead to me inting, because you don't want to give up that level lead that I've now put our team in the position to have at this point in the match. But I am going to look for openings, which involves most often, you know, just I'm Serena, so with this character, like I can heal a lot. I'm keeping in mind that the curse incense is on me, so you know, I'm not going to be able to heal as much, and the Blissey's not going to be able to heal me as much. But doing some damage, fighting this team off, looking for secures from them is, you know, the best chance that we have right now, and preparing for the 720s. So let's look at this point in the match, the best thing that you can kind of do is the 720s are about to hit the map on both the top and bottom, is look at the state of the rest of the game. You could do this with any role, not just top path, bottom, support, whatever. You want to, at 720, start thinking about how you are going to play the first objective spawn. And right now, my jungler is fighting with somebody in the central area. They're likely, I think that's a Talonflame, they're likely trying to steal their buffs or whatever. I have my 2 laners bottom, and we see that we have a Wartortle, not yet, level 7. But we can't really tell from where the map state is, because we don't see anybody down on their side. Nobody's down on our side. So we can't really tell where we should be rotating to, if that makes sense. We can't really tell if we're hardcore winning a lane or hardcore losing a lane. Because if you're hardcore winning a lane, you want to continue winning that lane. It's a mistake that so many people make, a basic macro mistake that I've seen so many times, is breaking a pad and then leaving. You won that lane, you need to assert your presence in that lane and make sure that you hold it and continue to keep pressure there, because it forces them to acknowledge it. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody stays down there, everybody pushes tier 2, whatever, but it does mean that you don't just abandon the lane that you win. You want to grab the objective that's down there first, and then look into defending a potential push from the other team getting the other objective, or sending a few people up there or down there to try to contest the objective for the lane that you did not overwhelmingly win. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's continue. 720s. I see that both of the laners are still there, and now we have gotten a gank from Delphox. So I back up. I notice that there's 3 of us bottom, 2 of us top, and we have a level 7 Delphox with Fire Spin about to push into our lane. I do not want to go down here because Blissey can't defend this by themselves. Also, Blissey was looking for some secures, and they likely will go down here with the purpose of making sure that I got out. But Fire Spin Delphox being introduced here is, first of all, insane. Why can they do that? But Fire Spin Delphox, Blizzard, Avalanche A9, and Mean Look Umbreon is a recipe for disaster. The only way that I can try to defend this is on my own pad. So I gotta back up. Which I do. And I don't have a full heal up right now. Not too much I can do, so I'm just gonna try to get some damage, enough to force them back. When you're in this position, don't push off the pad. Why am I getting angry? Don't push off the pad. Because if I isolate one of them, the other one's gonna come in with another CC move, and as soon as I get trapped there, it's over for me. I don't have enough Eos cookie stacks. I don't have the healing because we know that Alola Ninetales has a curse incense on. So I don't have the proper amount of healing. You'll also notice that my bottom path now has a Blastoise, and they're pushing forward. If they lose this push, that's it. We lose the early game if they lose this push down in the bottom. So I can't let us lose this top path if they are making a bad play. I don't know if they're making a bad play. They could be making a great play. There's only so much you can see on the map at one time. They could be playing really well right now, but at this point, I don't know that. But I do know that Zeraora is coming to help us, so the best thing I can do, play pad, which is what I do. Blissey hanging on by the skin of their teeth. Zeraora is able to come in and grab a Alolan Ninetales, and luckily they're not making the mistake of going in too deep here, so I'm going to, this is a strategic play, me moving into the tall grass there so that the Fire Spin hits me in there. That way the Delphox can't target me automatically with their next move. Zeraora is, you know, I got to follow kind of what the Zeraora wants to do, but I also realize that they're not level 9. So they can't, you know, they don't have a Unite move. They can't go too hard here. Let's look again, all right? Because I'm about to jump in and, you know, hope that the Zera follows me. Zera starts hitting the objective. We can't really do that. The thing that they're trying to do is bait them in so that we have to draw them off of their pad for a fight, and that's exactly what they do, so that's great. Pikachu joins us, and Blastoise is still down there with Tinkatink. So we are missing one player from the enemy side. We don't know where they are right now. So keeping that in mind, I have now, well, our Zeraora has effectively drawn out A9 and Delphox, and I can now hope to engage on them knowing that I have a full heal up. So I'm going to go in. I get trapped in the mean look. Blissey's with me. Unfortunately, I go down. Unfortunately, that's just what happens in that situation. I didn't pop my full heal early enough. Umbreon was able to catch me regardless of being in the tall grass because I was still in vision. And, you know, Zera did not yet have a Unite move. Should I have engaged that? Probably not. I probably could have waited a little bit, especially now seeing that we have their Talonflame up here coming to join them. So it's 1-on-1 bot, and then we have 4 top for both teams. So luckily my team backs off there after I go down. They back off, potentially looking for another fight. I decide to go back top because, you know, that's where the fight is, but grabbing a little bit of experience as I go up there is also, you know, a good call. I see somebody took our red buff, and they're likely sitting right here. I'm pretty sure it was A9. Because I think I saw the passive. So I know that they're likely there. It was Talonflame, and I'm not going to be able to catch them. So right now, you know, I had gone down, and I only have 2 stacks. So the best thing that I can do, what I believe, is that I need to try to get my level 9. Because clearly, not having my Unite move is going to be detrimental in this fight that we're trying to have in the top path. So the best thing I can do is hope for, you know, Blastoise to hold bottom by themselves, and then me go back up to top with the Unite move and meet up with my team, because unfortunately also Zeraora has gone down and they're likely going to start pushing. But I don't think I would be able to defend it anyway without a Unite move. I think that's something that a lot of players don't realize. Like, a lot of players will end up pinging you and stuff like that if you're not at the fight. But I think that's something that players don't understand very well, is knowing when you lost. I went down, and I made the assessment that I would not be able to fight them at my level. So I needed to get level 9. And sometimes prioritizing the farm is the best thing that you can do. Just farming up, getting some experience so that you're ready for the next fight. Just knowing when a fight is lost and backing off and doing the best you can. My Blissey has done a good job of that. They just pulled back. They realized that we were going to lose that pad and likely Regieleki, so they backed off. You know, they came to look for me, helping me get experience. I think that a lot of players don't like to hear that. Like, sometimes you just don't go rejoin the fight. Sometimes it's a loss. I might have inted by going down earlier. So to not do that again, I need to make sure that I get my experience. So now I see them. I don't have a full heal, but Blissey has taken my lead and gone in. And luckily with that, Blissey, like the Bliss assistants that I got, we're able to push them back at least for the time being. So now we're just kind of getting in another fight, and I just have to back up at this point. Blissey goes down. I back up. And now we just go back to farming. At some point, I would love to get my stacks. Don't know if it's going to happen. But this play from my team here, without Blissey there, they can't really make that play. Without Blissey and Blastoise, who this guy's just been hanging out down there. Without them, they can't really make this push into all of them on the opposite side. Like, at this point, you know, I tried. I got the Bliss assistants. I can't get all of them at once. I didn't go down. I didn't feed. You know, we back up. We defend Alecki. We're playing a little bit from behind at this point. Talon gets it. And luckily, my team backs up. We're going to sit pad. And then right now, what I'm looking for is to see if they are pushing. So I'm like kind of farming at the same time as seeing if they are pushing or not. And we see that they are actually moving bot. But I run into two of them mid. So right now, we have Pikachu and Zeraora dealing with this. We have Blissey coming down to deal with me. And we have Blastoise now defending against 2. So I run into 2. I have now made this a 1v2, so I'm not engaging, you know, without a full heal, without an ult. I'm not, like, jumping right in, waiting for my Blissey, and then seeing if I can at least secure the farm. I am able to. I chase them off. You know, that's kind of the best that I can get. Talon gets a score, but he doesn't break. And I'm just getting mean looked to absolute hell. Mean look is so frustrating. See if I can get Talon. I can't. They have fly. I run into a wall. What am I doing, dude? Tinkaton is there. So Tinkaton and Blastoise, neither of them have left their lane the entire time. So now we have pivoted to fighting for this bottom objective. So they got the top objective. They won that. Our team was able to clear it. They're all coming down into the bottom path. So we can really engage here for a fight. I have my Unite move and my full heal. So we can engage for a team fight. And hope to at least get this objective out of the exchange. Because at this point, we were playing from behind. I'm able to grab Delphox, which is great. They use their Unite move. So there's that. Tinkaton, we're able to grab them as well. And now I'm just going to try to hit this objective. Because my team has been able to push forward and effectively zone out the rest of their team. And Serena has decent rip. It would be great if, like, the Pikachu came to help me or something, but it's really not that big of a deal. They just have to make sure the Talonflame can't get in because they're the one that would be able to secure it. And now we can push in a little bit harder. Like, knowing when to push is another big thing with the top path Pokemon because you're the carry that leads these pushes a lot of the time. And since we won that objective, being able to do this is, you know, indicative of kind of what I want to do. So they come back and we're not able to do as much. So luckily, you know, my team follows me. We're going to prepare for a counter push and I'm always thinking about farming. So my team, all 4 of them are there. All 4 of them are down in this bottom path except for Tinkaton, who's just been offlaning the entire time. And they're only level 9. So I feel like I can take them. You know, Serena's great in a 1v1. He tries to use his Unite move on me, doesn't work, pops his Focus Band, and Jax, I'm just going to leave it. This is a great time for me, 2:42 on the clock. You know, this game has been weird because the fights have been so long-lasting. It's a great time for me to look for a stack. I know they're all there. I know I just watched Tinkaton walk away from me. Some stacking would be great right about now. Part of, you know, being somebody who stacks, the top path carry, who's stacking and I'm double stacking and have been playing all game without my stacks, those extra 2 stacks could seriously be a difference maker in this late game. Could seriously. So I think it's totally reasonable to peel off and look for an offlane stack. Especially since I know where they all are and it's a tier 1. There's still a tier 1 open. So it's a little harder for them to rotate up to the tier 1, and it's a little easier for me to fight them on a tier 1. Unfortunately, my team pushed a little bit too hard bottom. So a couple went down there, but at this point, like, that's not my problem. It was 4v4 and they shouldn't have lost. They should have at least held. So at this point, that's not my issue. I'm looking for my stacks. I'm going to offlane for a second. Delphox peels up from the fight bottom to try to fight me. But I am able to get some stacks. And I think I can take them. There's no curse incense on me, so I'm going to try to, you know, bait them out a little bit. And now Talon comes, so I wasn't expecting that. Unfortunately, the Talon did show up, so that was just an oversight on my part of thinking the Talon was still bottom, because the last time I had seen them on the map, they were fighting my team. But they did show up. I go down. It was a mistake. I should have just left. So I am down for a second here. Waiting for me to come back up. Blissey, farming. They're not hitting, so that's good for us. Not hitting. I'm level 13, which is the best position I can be in. We have 5 unites, the best position I can be in. Umbreon is here. And now, what I'm doing, macro-wise, is I am looking for an engage point. And the best engage point that I have to go off of is my tank. Blastoise is here, and I am going to need to base my engagement off of their positioning. As the tank, they are kind of going to decide where the fight breaks out and how to engage. It is not usually, unless I can catch somebody one-on-one, it is not usually a good idea for me to start the fight and just jump in on everybody all by myself, unless I am with a tank or a support that I know can heal me or sustain me. So me walking around, I'm not only looking for vision, I'm looking for an engage point with this Blastoise. So I'm running around. We are now seeing, I'm literally following this Blastoise, following them around. We see Talonflame. They go for an immediate flame sweep. Blastoise goes in, and now I'm going to go in. I'm going to look for a Unite move. Just, it doesn't really matter who it's on. Blissey sees me. They've been playing fantastic the entire game. They see my engagement, and they go for a Bliss Assistance on me. We're immediately able to take down 2, but they get our Blastoise. So we're still not in a great position yet, and I'm able to grab Ninetales. So let me go back for a second there, because that's really important in terms of macro understanding. So watch this. I jump in. I thought I timed it well enough with the Tinkaton hammer. I didn't. This is just my limited micro understanding of this character specifically. I don't get to catch Tinkaton, and Blastoise is getting caught. I see Tinkaton run this way. Hold on, where's my little thing? Tinkaton's running this way. Delphox is running this way. A9's running this way, because they want to avoid Blastoise. So now that I've seen A9 take down Blastoise, and I know that they were moving over here, they're either going to come back through this way, or they're going to go down. And with my character, and with many characters who play in the top path, the best thing you can get them in is a 1v1. The best way that you can do this is with a 1v1. So if I know Tinkaton went one way, Delphox went another way, A9 went another way, there's somebody I'm going to be able to catch in a one-on-one here if I look for that engagement. Because there's no Talon, there's no Umbreon, there's only 3 of them. And if I can grab one in a 1v1, that's awesome. I find A9, I probably could have gotten Delphox up there as well. But I was a little more afraid, I guess, of the Unite move that they were going to throw on me, rather than looking for A9. Plus, I thought Delphox would have based, so I, made the decision before I saw them. But getting A9 here, huge. Huge. Plus, we wasted Delphox ult, because it really didn't do much. I mean, Zera just jumped into it, but, they're back. Blissey has them. That's the power of a good support. So now the best thing we can do, we can look for Ray. There was 2 down. Umbreon looks for it. I'm able to get it. So let me go back for a second, because ripping might not be the best call here, but I'll show you why I did that. We know we're behind is number 1, so we have to get Ray. That's our win condition. A9's still down. Talon only just came back up. Umbreon only just came back up. And we have control of the pit right now. All of us, except Blastoise, who's down, all of us have come to an understanding that Ray is our win condition. we have all realized that Ray is our win condition. So I decide I'm going to chance it. I'm going to rip it. And Pikachu, hero, looks for the lockdown on Tinkaton. Fantastic play by this Pikachu. They use the Volt Tackle to make sure that they bait out. Because you can see here, this is the Gigaton hammer. This is the hammer. So they don't really have the secure anymore. Pikachu baited it out. It was perfect. Umbreon was the only one who had a chance there, and luckily they just didn't time their Moonlight Prance good enough. So there is an argument there that ripping was not great because Umbreon was coming back. The Talonflame could have come in with Fly. They definitely could have taken it. But I think that that's a chance with that you have to just be willing to take sometimes, not all the time. The conditions for taking that rip chance have to do with your advantage and whether or not you're winning or losing. Since we were losing, our win condition was Rayquaza. Either Rayquaza or backcapping a lot. And we didn't know exactly, how much we would need to do that. And so our win condition is effectively, in a solo queue game, Rayquaza. So with one of them still down, two of them having just respawned, we have enough of an advantage for me to personally make the decision to rip. Could we have gone for a refight? Probably. We probably could have gone for a refight. But since that was the win condition, my team and I got on the same page. Luckily, we were able to take down Rayquaza. We just went for the rip. Pikachu with the huge lockdown on Tinkaton, and we're able to get it. So we score a bunch. I don't, because I don't have shield anymore, but that's okay because now I'm keeping A9 in this basement path while my team can score everywhere else. So with Blastoise now here, who they have a shield, we're good. And Blastoise, look at them! They know what they're doing too. I don't have a shield, they do. So I'm able to score for free. And Blastoise can still potentially score with their shield. Which they go for. I don't remember if they get it. They do. So, yeah. Let's fast forward to show you the damage. Also, just another thing to note is Tinkaton was scoring on the opposite side, but it's not going to do anything. I got 9 KOs and an assist. My team did a fantastic job. I had the damage carry for the team. Nothing too crazy. Our team's carries were all pretty even damage-wise, and Blissey with a ton of healing. This was just a really good team, which you don't often get in solo queue, so I really feel like the team and the players that I ended up being paired with here were really able to kind of carry my lack of knowledge of the character I was playing and, turn it into a really solid win, like the Blissey pocketing me, sending Unite moves on me a lot, that was just really good by them. So all the praise to the team. Hopefully this was good. I know that with my lack of character knowledge on a lot of all-rounders, I know that there are a lot of plays that I make on all-rounders that are just going to be scuffed, and that's kind of how it is. But I appreciate you watching, tuning in. Into the Top Path video. Hopefully you learned something from this. Let me know what your favorite Top Path Pokemon to play is, and I will see you all next time. Bye!